Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing the second version that I have for Cassava Pone. If you guys remember, a couple of weeks ago, I shared version 1 of Cassava Pone that my family has. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing the other version that I was mentioning that we also make. Now, this is the one that uses the fresh coconut inside of the dough. The one that I made previously is more of like the instant version. It just uses coconut milk and no fresh coconut. But whatever way you make it, it's going to be delicious, and this is the method that I prefer actually, so that's why I really thought it was important to show you guys. So, trust me, by the time you guys are done with this video, you're not going to want to go to any West Indian bakery to buy Cassava Pone. You'll have such an easy time making it home, and it's going to be so delicious, especially when it's nice and hot right out of the oven. Now this video is a little extra special because I'm going to be doing a collaboration with Romy over at Simply Blissful Living. For any of you guys who don't know Romy, she's a Fiji Indian and she shares a lot of her family's traditional recipes on her channel, Simply Blissful Living. Now she has anything from savory foods to desserts, and she has some amazing stuff on there, such a genuine person, and I'm glad to be doing another collaboration with her. So if you guys want to watch her video for her cassava cake / cassava pone, you're going to go ahead and click on the link that I have at the end of this video, and you can also click on the link that's in the description box down below. I'll have all of her channel information, her social media, and all of that good stuff down below as well. So be sure to check her out, give her some love, subscribe, like, leave some comments, tell her that Matthew sent you, and of course I hope you enjoy both of these videos. Romy, I can't wait to see what your version looks like. So let's get into the recipe, guys. Alright guys, so the first step when making the cassava pone is to go ahead and grate your cassava. So in my bowl here I have some cassava that I've peeled, cut into chunks, and I've grated it on the finest side of my grater to get this fine texture. Now on top of this cassava, I'm going on with some freshly grated coconut. Now this is a more traditional way of making it, so you're going to want to use a nice fresh coconut so you can get that beautiful coconut flavor running through your cassava pone. And once you've added your coconut into the actual cassava, you're going to go ahead and start to mix it up, and you want to mix it really well to get all of that coconut properly incorporated with your cassava. I wanted to quickly mention that, as usual, all of my proper ingredients and measurements will be down in the description box below, so just click on that little drop down menu and you'll see everything that you need to know to put this cassava pone together. So once you've gone ahead and mixed in the coconut with the cassava, it's time to mix in your ground ginger. Now for this recipe, it is very important to use freshly grated ginger because cassava pone is meant to have a little kick or a little spice to it, and that really comes from the ginger and the black pepper that we're going to add later. So once you've gone ahead and added in your ground ginger and you mixed it up really well to mix with the cassava and the coconut, it is time to go in with a little bit of melted butter as well as some brown sugar. Now for this recipe, if you did not want to use brown sugar, you could omit the brown sugar and use condensed milk for that sweetness. What the condensed milk is going to do is it's going to give it a sweetness as well as an extra creaminess. But I wanted to mention that if you are adding condensed milk, then you do not need to add the butter because the butter adds some fat and you wouldn't really need that if you were adding the condensed milk. So you could go ahead and play around with it a little bit to try to get your taste and your desires in this cassava pone. So once you've gone ahead and mixed that butter as well as that brown sugar in very well, you're going to go ahead and add in some black pepper. Now for this recipe, I'm going to give you my measurement for the black pepper, but some people do not even like to add black pepper into their cassava pone. I definitely like it, and I like it to give a nice little kick to my cassava pone. But if you want to heighten the black pepper or even lessen it or even omit it, feel free to do so as well. Once you add in this black pepper, you're going to mix it in really well so this way every bite has a nice little kick to it. And one thing that I forgot to mention is that once you add in your black pepper, you're also going to want to go in with a little pinch of salt. Once you go in with that pinch of salt, which is also going to help you enhance the flavor, you're going to go ahead and add in some coconut milk. This is part 1 of the actual milks or the liquids that's going to go into your cassava pone to give it that nice gooey texture on the inside. And you want to mix this coconut milk in very well. So once you've added in all of your coconut milk and you mix it in really well, you're going to go in with your evaporated milk. Now, if you did not want to use evaporated milk or you don't have access to it, feel free to replace it with whole milk. Now, I will mention that you must use whole milk or evaporated milk for this, because if you don't and you use 1% or 2% or skim milk, it's not going to give you the same texture that you need. It's going to actually make it too gooey and it's not going to bake properly. Now once you've added in the coconut milk as well as your evaporated or whole milk, you're going to go in with some vanilla extract. Now I'm using vanilla extract because that's what I have available to me, but if you wanted to, feel free to use some mixed essence. That's usually what my grandmother would use in this recipe. Now once you've gone ahead and added in your vanilla essence or your mixed essence or even almond essence if you're feeling that, you're going to go ahead and mix it in really, really well. You want to mix this mixture until everything looks homogeneous and mixed together perfectly because you want every bite to taste the same. You don't want one ingredient to be in another part of the cassava pone. So once you go ahead and mix it up really well, you're going to take a little dab in your hand and you're just going to taste it. And the reason why you taste it is because you want to make sure that there's enough sugar as per your taste, enough spices, and just make sure that it is the cassava pone to your desire. Now at this point, I'm going to show you what it looks like to go ahead and put it in our baking dish. So here's the pan that I'm using today. I'm using a glass pan because that's my preference. But if you guys remember from my previous cassava pone video, I did use one of those non-stick baking pans as well. Both of them work fine. I just prefer to do it in the glass pan for some reason. So once you get your pan that you desired, mine is a 9 by 13 inch pan. I find that this gives the best thickness to the cassava pone. You're going to go ahead and butter it very, very, very liberally. You need to add a lot of butter on this layer because if you do not and it sticks in the oven, it will be nearly impossible to get out of the pan because when cassava bakes, it starts to stick very much to anything that it's baking in. So I have my pan liberally buttered, and please, let me tell you what, I did warn you, make sure you go ahead and butter it really well or else it will stick very badly. And once you have it properly buttered, you're going to add in all of your cassava pone mixture. Now, this is the thickness that I like. I don't like my cassava pone too thick, nor do I like it too thin. So go ahead and gauge the size that you want and use a pan that will give you your desired thickness. Now, once you've gotten all of that mixture into the pan, you want to spread it out evenly with the back of your spoon or your spatula that you're using. And you want to make sure it reaches the edges and you have a nice uniform layer on the top. Now at this point, I'm going to pop this into my oven that's been preheated to 350 degrees, and I'm going to bake it for about 45 minutes to an hour, or just until all of the edges are dark golden brown and the top is dark golden brown as well. And I'll come back and show you guys what it looks like. So this is what my cassava pone looked like when I pulled it out of the oven. As you can see, it has very dark golden brown edges and the top is a nice golden brown color as well. When you take it out of the oven, you want to allow it to cool for about 15 minutes so you can get nice uniform cuts, and it will be much easier to take out that way. So at this point, this is after I let it cool, I'm going to go around the edges with the knife to start releasing it from the edge. And once you've gone around with your knife, you're going to go ahead and slice it as big or as small as you would like the actual cassava pone. And while I slice into this to show you guys what it looks like, I wanted to mention that the baking time will vary for everybody. Now for me, it took exactly an hour in the oven at 350 degrees. But remember, everybody's oven is different, the temperatures are different, and also depending on the thickness that you use or even the type of cassava that you're using from the grocery store, sometimes the maturity of the cassava is a little different and it cooks differently. So I just cut into about half of the cassava pone right now because that's all that I'm going to serve right now. I'm going to save the other half for another day, but I just wanted to show you guys what it looks like when it comes out. As you guys can see, it came out very easily with the spatula because I buttered that pan really, really well. And all of the edges are nice and golden brown. It has a nice gooey middle to it. And to me, the texture was just perfect. This is what I remember eating when I was growing up that my grandmother made. Every time she makes cassava pone, it is so delicious. And trust me, it is well worth all of the effort to make it home versus buying it from the West Indian bakeries. Because I just find that anything homemade has a better taste to it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Please go ahead and give my video a nice big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed yet. And of course, leave all of your beautiful comments down below. Now, if you guys are done with this video, please go on to Romy's channel, Simply Blissful Living, and go ahead and check out her video for her Fiji version of cassava pone or cassava cake. Now, I hope you guys enjoy her video. Subscribe to her channel, leave those beautiful comments, tell her that Matthew sent you. And of course, just show her channel some love as well. I'll see you guys again very soon in my next video, and I'll see you guys again. Bye guys.